Happy Friday, everybody. I hope you had a great week. This week was another busy one in the markets, and next week should have a few more big events. So please check back in on Monday for the Monday market update. Today is August 23rd, 2024. I can't believe how fast this year is going, and this is your Friday planning video. Today, I want to follow up on last week's video that was about planning in a volatile market environment. I want to focus a bit more on the retirement planning in this type of environment. Some of these are for all of you. Some of these are for just those of you in the distribution phase of your life. And as we know, honestly, this will not interest some of you at all. So as we know, and as I've been talking a lot about, volatility has returned to the markets. After a long time of small moves, we are now seeing more big moves. And this is what often shakes people up and causes mistakes, or what can be mistakes. So just to be sure, I'll give you some tips here, but we know that nothing is foolproof. So usually a combination of all of this advice will help. And as the famous Greek philosopher said, it's not what happens to you, but it's how you react to it that matters. And that brings me to the first tip of the day: pay attention, or in so many cases, work with someone who does. That is what I do. As you know, paying attention is what is going around. To what is going around us in the economic and investment world is what I do. So paying attention is key. Another important quote, not quite from the Greeks and not quite a philosopher, but as Michael Douglas said in the movie Wall Street, the most valuable commodity I know is information. So I think we have it covered from the Greeks to the movies. Next, and this is for everyone, diversify. As we discussed last week, and I will note that diversification alone is not insurance against market losses, but it is one of the tools we use. Stocks, bonds, cash, real estate, insurance, hard assets, alternative investments, and all the other investments that are out there. They may or may not have a place in your portfolio, but what you will see more pronounced in a volatile market is that different assets perform differently in most cases. And if you are completely allocated to just that one asset class, you're either a hero or a zero, and a home run or strikeout is not the strategy choice, especially as you are nearing or in retirement. As you near retirement or distribution, it may be prudent to bring some lower risk assets into your portfolio. We'll get to more on that in just a moment. Next, and this goes along with the first one, rebalance regularly. This is a key, especially in times we've seen when stocks may soar or fall and bonds, for example, may hold up or have level returns. When this happens, that allocation you had accurately met your risk goals, it gets off kilter. That is the key time to rebalance. Just to remind you, if you have a 60% of your portfolios in stocks, and stocks have a great couple of years, that 60% could easily become 80%. And then when bad years come, and it usually does, 80% of your portfolio goes down, not 60%. And that may not help you in your goals. This is truly a risk management tool. Next, use proper hedging strategies if appropriate. Now, this is not hedging in the investment type term. We're not talking about those hedge funds that you may hear about. I'm not going into that today. I'm talking about working to put some backstop or a net under some sort under your investments. We know that market downturns come, so being prepared for them is half the battle. There are many ways you can do this, and in the past, you often had one choice, and that involved giving up most of the upside so that you can protect the downside. This is not always the case anymore. There are numerous strategies that allow you to participate in the upside without leaving your downside exposed. These are everything from liquid positions to insurance products and more. Being afraid of down markets while in the distribution phase is normal. We can use our tools to try to insulate your investments, at least partially. Each of the tools have pros and cons and different bells and whistles, so you have to dig into each one of them to see if they can help. Finally, and this is the ultimate hedge and the key to what I tell you all the time: prepare, prepare, prepare. In this case, an emergency fund is key. As we stand near market highs at this time, if you don't have an emergency fund of liquid assets that are not subject to market forces, cash in most cases, please consider now the time. It really may be one of the best times. First, you can possibly sell your investments at levels that are at this point market highs. Second, this will change over the coming months, but in my opinion, not so much. But we have spoken about cash management. Please don't stash your emergency fund in that savings account that's paying 0.1%. High yield savings accounts are still at or near 5%, so getting the money may be a good time and holding it may be a good time. So an emergency fund is in place will allow you to weather most market storms much more smoothly. So by following these steps, you should be able to navigate the ups and downs of the market with more confidence. Remember, volatility is a natural part of investing, and with proper planning, you may be able to turn it into an opportunity rather than just a setback. Stay in touch, and note, next week is full of important events. Come back on Monday to get the preview. Have a great weekend.